to get in.
But then
I know my son was telling me he's sixth grade and he's making the weather watch. He was telling me, he's like, before
It's not fun traveling anymore.
now it's cold after we have this nice spell.
Daughter's 40th birthday.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Her birthday.
It's actually Halloween.
Oh, good. So you'll miss that.
So-
That first cold snap.
Yeah, I got the green.
Yeah, good.
I think I'm
Where you go?
At Big Island.
Big Island.
Yeah, mine's
I
working.
like going there.
Nice.
It's just casual native.
Yeah, no light
Yeah.
or nothing.
Very good.
It's like it's dead in the water.
It's not pushed in. Well, maybe
Yeah,
it is.
starting, and then I'm pretty good till December, like holidays. Then January is like, okay.
Things happen.
I know. I like Creighton. So I follow the Blue Jays. So still all kind of sucks.
You can use mine.
Paula promises will go quick.
Yes, it should. I think. As far as, yeah.
Gets kind of angry at somebody. And
You ready, Dan?
this out.
Dan?
I ain't good.
Yes, sir.
All right, hey, I'd like
I don't
to
get angry.
welcome
I have
everyone
talked to Angie since
to the Sarpy County and Cities Wastewater Agency meeting. Today's Wednesday, October 18th. It's 4:01 p.m. This meeting is going to be subject to the Public Meetings Act, and those the rules for the Open Meeting Act are on the north wall of the agency boardroom. In attendance today, we have the mayor of Papillion, David Black, the mayor of La Vista, Doug Kindig, the mayor of Gretna, Mike Evans. Representing the mayor of Springfield is the city administrator, Kathleen Gotch. Dan Hoynes is our agency administrator. I'm Don Kelly. I represent Sarpy County. Lisa Harris, our secretary. James Timmerman is our treasurer. And we also have our project engineer, Jeff Thompson, and our agency legal counsel, Adam Charleston, here as well. If you haven't, please silence your phones, and we'll start off by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get into the announcements, I'm going to make a presentation, so I'll be coming down there. You guys are welcome to join me.
It's all you.
You're good. I shot him a text this morning. Yeah. It just said that.
For those of you who may not have heard or don't know, mostly for the benefit of my city colleagues, one of our attorneys, Nicole Spitzenberger, is found a greener pasture, and she's going to be leaving Sarpy County. I think this is her last week. Friday's her last day, I believe. And but before she leaves, we've thanked her on the county side numerous times. But I just kind of want to jog your memory a little bit. When we started out this agency, we didn't have a legal counsel, and so sort of by default, Nicole stepped into the breach and took on all the legal actions that we required. And then even after we brought Adam on board to help us handle things, she has been writing the lead chair for the county to make sure that all the agency needs and requirements were met. And I just think it's appropriate that this agency thank her because she gained nothing really out of this except a lot of extra work and a lot more emails in her inbox, but she handled it superbly, and today is really the culmination of all her work because we're moving forward and we're going to provide sewer to over half of the southern part of the county, and soon, as I promised Mayor Evans, we're heading west, just like the pioneers, so we're going west. So anyways, Nicole, if you would just come up, we have a small memento for you. It's a very collectible A golden toilet, okay? And although we haven't made the first flush, you will have this in your possession at all times. And I hope it brings fond memories, not only of your support to the agency, but your time in county government service. It's a noble calling, and you've done it a great job for 17 years, and especially the last 6 on behalf of the sewer agency. So thank you.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you for the golden toilet.
You know, Nicole, there's only like
overwhelmed.
6 of those in existence in the world, and one of them sitting on the governor's desk.
I will treasure this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a great, to work with everybody. So, thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, I told her yesterday she used to be a chunk of coal till the pressure got to her. Now she's a diamond. And just as we polish the diamond, she's leaving for greener pastures. But we wish you the best of luck. We really do. Thank you for everything. Okay, we'll get right into our staff reports. Dan Hoynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. I want to reserve some of my time here for the actual agenda item today, or the 2 agenda items, but specific to our meeting schedule, assuming approval today of this WIFIA loan agreement, I would recommend that we don't need the meeting next week. We've met 3 or 4 weeks in a row now here to get this done. So if you're so inclined, we can postpone the meeting for next week, which means our next meeting will be November 15th. And so I'll reserve the rest of my comments for the actual approval or discussion on the agency loan.
Okay. Jeff Thompson, Agency Project Engineer.
Chairman Kelly, agency member, mayors, thank you. Again, not a lot to report. It's only been a week since our last meeting, but we will be starting testing on the lift station site next week. Hawkins is staging checkout with NMC on the generator and Omaha Electric with all the electrical equipment, as well as Electric Pump, who's supplied the pumps in the electrical building. So you probably see some big frac tanks down there. They're full of water. We're setting up a system to be able to recirculate that and mimic the head pressures that we're going to see across the system. So it may get a little noisy down there. You may see some activity down there here next week. Nothing alarming, just going through the testing procedure for the lift station there. And then we continuously wait on the railroad, as well as the EPA on the crossing at the rail line, as well as the creek crossing. Once we get those approvals back and get the flaggers scheduled, we'll get across the railroad and get the pipe under the creek and get that connection made at Omaha and be able to start service, still shooting for the end of 2024. So be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Well, thanks, Jeff. Adam, anything?
Not really. I'd like to say this a little bit.
Okay. Just one alibi on my part. I've been working with the NDEE, trying to get all the documents, signed. I've got one of the 2 signed, and the other one's just going through the process. Don't expect any trouble at all. But we got the loan? We got the construction loan agreement signed, right? That's what yeah. And now we're just, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we have the amendment to the SRF construction agreement. That's what was
Okay.
e-signed this morning. And then the amendment to the planning loan from 2019, that's somewhere in the internet floating through DocuSign. So you should be getting that from the state
All right.
in the next 24 hours.
Great, thank you. Okay, the first item on the agenda today, well, let me see here. We got our consent agenda. We only got one item. It's the meeting minutes from our last meeting on October 11th. Motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Papillion, a second by Gretna. Any questions or concerns? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Bellevue.
Okay, on the regular agenda, 2 items. The first one is Resolution 37, approving and authorizing the execution of the WIFIA loan agreement and other related loan documents, the execution delivery of the WIFIA note, and authorizing agency officers to establish and designate certain WIFIA loan terms. Adam Charleston.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly. As the resolution states, we're asking for this board's approval of the WIFIA term sheet and the separate approval of the form WIFIA loan agreement. In the resolution, it authorizes the execution of the documents and the forms that they're attached here. And then second, execution will happen on the day of closing, but we're not closing today. Closing next Friday, as Dan alluded to. And so the resolution goes further and designates the board chair, vice chair, and treasurer to give the thumbs up and authorize closing on terms that are acceptable, but there are some caveats in here. Caps the rate at 5 1/4. Caps the principal at $45,350,483. And that the forms are otherwise approved by legal counsel. Right now, just for context, or at least I think it was yesterday, the rate was 4.91. So unless this gives some buffer there, now the agency doesn't have to do it if it's between that and 4 1/4 or 5 1/4. But we put some guardrails there. So.
Okay. Questions or concerns? You said 491?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I looked it up. It was 471, but I could be wrong.
It was. I think it was the rate that they showed us.
Well,
on Monday. I'm sorry. It was 4.91. Today's Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just have a buffer built in.
We have a buffer.
I don't expect a big change like that in a couple days.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any concerns or questions for Adam?
If I may, before
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, member mayors, so Adam covered the substantial issues on the specific agreement that I wanted to cover, but just like to emphasize that the agreement says if there are non-material and or administrative changes between now and closing date, which is scheduled for October 27th, that the agency chair, vice chair, in consultation with the legal counsel can go ahead and make those without coming back for a full vote. Did you miss something, Adam? Or?
No, you got it.
Okay. Didn't know if you wanted to correct me, which happens.
No, I'll say, to further make the point, unless something really strange happens, we're just filling in blanks and attaching the final amortization schedule that we'll get on next Friday. So it's as close to final as we can get it.
And we are inviting the chair and the vice chair to participate in those loan closings if you so choose. With you, but a handful of editorial comments. It seemed like only a few days ago, but at the same time, decades that we started this project. Depending on the context of what's going on, I frequently tell this to the folks I work with and interact with that we should always strive for good government, but the only thing that really counts is the scoreboard. And I think this scoreboard, the results are just about ready to be posted. That we collectively, the city, the county, collectively, consultants, are going to put up a winning score here. 30 plus years in government, without question, this is the most complex project that I've ever been involved in. So many entities, so many moving parts. And, the ability and the willingness of the multiple parties. You got 6 jurisdictions, 7 if you count Omaha. They've all had to agree on something. I'm not aware of that happening anywhere else in there. And so the uniqueness and the credit to the governing bodies, but the staff that does the heavy lifting on this thing, I just want to make a couple of comments in particular, and I'm always very remiss to give credit to any individual or even a small group because you're going to miss somebody. But many of you know the last 60 days or so, I've had to conflict myself out of a lot of this. But the people that stepped up, Adam Charlson in particular, the amount of work that he's had to do is, I follow emails on occasion, just on a broad policy we would touch base, but that young man, along with Mike Rogers from the county, Angie, some others. I know Mayor Evans came in at the end, but Adam and then Jeff Thompson is always putting the springs in the watch, right? Adam depended on him heavily to do a line by line review of that and getting Jeff in there. And then James Timmerman. I mentioned somebody today, he's kind of like some of us, when I say E.F. Hutton, some of us will know what I mean. James is an E.F. Hutton for us. You know, when he talks, you really want to listen to where he's at. But those three people, and then of course Lisa from keeping it, and I can't really be remiss. We recognized Nicole, but we had handfuls of people. Angie in particular from the county, Scott Bovig, Bill Conley, people that Mike Rogers. It got a little intense, I think, in trying to do that, and it had to happen, but the right thing got done. I really believe the right thing got done. So with those handful of editorial comments, I would respectfully request that the agency board approve that, and let's start getting that line down to Mayor Roseland now. And work forward to getting it over to Mayor Evans and feel really good about where the project is. So that concludes my comments, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I appreciate that. In addition to the people you thanked, they definitely carried the football across the goal line, but I still, believe in my heart that the city administrators and you, in your role as county administrator, are the guys that did the blocking and got us there so we could score. So again, a special thanks out to all the city administrators. And then if this loan or if this resolution is approved, once the documents are signed by the vice chairman and myself, I'd like to make sure that we get final copies distributed out to all the mayors and administrators, so they have all the terms and insight into what we signed up for.
Will do, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
I would make a motion to approve the resolution, noting that if they aren't major changes, that the chair or the vice chair could approve consulting our lawyer any small tweaks to the agreement.
Okay. Is that kind of an amended motion?
No, that's embedded in the actual resolution.
That's okay.
Oh, do you need them?
It's chair, vice chair, and treasurer.
Yeah, that's in the actual resolution.
And treasurer.
Yeah.
I'll include the
treasurer,
treasurer.
okay.
Did I cover them all now?
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by LaVista, second by Gretna. Any further comments or discussion? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Bellevue, motion carries.
Okay, last item today is Resolution 38, which authorizes the agency board chair and treasurer to act on behalf of the agency board between agency board meetings. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayors, this is really a procedural issue since we're not going to meet next week. Most of our vendors are on the submission cycle of invoices for next week. So if we approve this, we don't have to meet, but we can go ahead and get those invoices paid.
Any questions or concerns? Motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Papillion, second by LaVista. Any further comments? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Bellevue, motion carries.
Okay, our next meeting will actually be on November 15th at 4 o'clock. And all the agenda items having been addressed as published, the Sarpy County and Cities Wastewater Agency Board stands adjourned. Thank you.